Hi everybody, Lindsey Rainwater here, Archangel's Emissary and your Divine Gifts Coach. And first off, I want to thank you for being here with me today. As always, exciting to be here. I hope you can hear me okay. I found my earbuds so I don't have to wear my gigantic headphones, so hopefully that's working out okay. And secondly, I wanted to say sorry that Carla is not here with us today. We talked yesterday and had all these plans that she was going to come on and we were going to chat. And apparently her new grandbaby had other ideas. And she, last time I talked to her about an hour ago, was rushing to the hospital because apparently he's planning on making an entrance. So kind of a bummer she's not here, but at the same time, it's like, well, you can't really be upset about that. And lots of blessings and well wishes for her and her daughter and her new grandson. So that's exciting. What I wanted to talk about today, like this week's theme, is all about autumn and the harvest energy that you get in autumn. So before I launch into that, I do want to say that the Q&A is available and open. You should be able to see somewhere that you can submit questions, and I will see them on the side of my screen. And basically, I will get to them if I possibly can, but you are more than welcome to submit, ask anything that's bothering you or anything that's about what I'm talking about that you would like clarified, and I'll do my best to clarify it. So, sorry guys, I got some allergies or something going on. It's too late in the year for allergies. So, autumn is such a cool time of year, and November is such an interesting month to me, and it always has been. Autumn's probably my favorite season. I have a birthday and my anniversary in September, and so I love that month. I love October. I love the energy. I love all the energy around Halloween. But November, other than Thanksgiving, seems to be a forgotten month for most people because, you know, Halloween's really exciting and everybody gets excited about Halloween and there's parties and there's all this. And in December, obviously, everyone's scrambling to get ready for Christmas, and then you have Christmas, and then you're rolling into the new year. And somewhere in between there, it's like, well, we have Thanksgiving somewhere in there. And other than that, it really seems like November's kind of tossed by the wayside as far as our year goes. And I really think that's a shame because November, you know, as much as I love September and October, November is really like the quintessential autumn month. It's getting cold. You're kind of starting to feel that sleepiness, as I describe it, as you're prepping to get into winter. And it really, the energy of it is different from any other month. And I realize all months have their own energy, but this one seems particularly special. And there's a good reason for that. So first, I wanted to show you this. This is a card out of my Angel Dreams Oracle deck, which was the, if I can show it to you guys, I believe this was the second deck I got, because I was still fighting the idea of using cards, and something told me there's this one specific deck, you have to go get it. And I was actually at Mount Shasta at the time and went into one of the stores, found the deck I was looking for, and another deck came flying off the shelf at me, and I can't remember if it was this one or my Angel Therapy deck. But either way, since I've gotten the Angel Dreams deck, it's really been one of my go-tos. The resonance is great, and just something about the answers is really profound every time. Well, one of my favorite cards is the Autumn card, which is about abundance, preparation, and harvest. This is a card that I actually draw quite a lot for people, especially since a lot of the people who come to me and a lot of my clients have businesses. They are business owners in their own right, or they have careers that are, you know, they're very dedicated to. It's not just a job. And the Autumn card comes up a lot because it's all about reaping the rewards of your hard work. And around this time of year, it starts coming up more and more and more. It's like it knows which, they do know. When you're asking your angels to bring you the right card, they do know what's going on. Obviously, they know more than we do, which is frustrating sometimes. And start pulling the autumn card. And I didn't pull it today. I actually went and hunted it down so that I could show you guys this card. And this card and this whole month, this season, is about taking all the work that you've done and allowing the abundance from everything that you've been doing to flow to you. Just letting it happen. Because a lot of the time we get so caught up on our doubting and not believing that our hard work is going anywhere, and we actually block those flows of abundance. And so this time of year and this month in particular is about letting that abundance come in. And that ties back to why it's a problem that people kind of toss this month by the wayside, because then you're not taking advantage of that energy. And if you spend the entire year putting off the acceptance of the abundance for the work that you've done, and then you don't take the time of year that's all about reaping rewards to reap those rewards, you're just going to run yourself in circles, and every year is going to be the same. And this is something that I experienced. Just every year was the same story, to the point where you're going, what the hell's wrong with me? I mean, something profound should have happened by now. Well, in the last couple of years in particular, I've really just started allowing myself to enjoy autumn. And spring seems to be the time of year that gets the most attention. Spring is spring cleaning, and you clean everything out, and you get new ideas, and you make room for new things in your life, and new things are supposed to start manifesting, and that's great. And then summer is just running with everything that you started in spring and having fun. And winter is like this hibernation period. And so obviously you have these seasonal cycles. We've always had them. It's why we have seasons. Everything goes in cycles. And even the winter time, the hibernation type energy, people pay attention to, because they slow down and they sometimes don't work quite so hard, and they just enjoy what life has to offer. And it's like, we're not going to run around like crazy, and we're going to stay home and drink tea or coffee and spend time with our loved ones. And what happens to autumn? It's like, okay, we have spring and summer and winter. Where did autumn go? Why are we not taking advantage of that energy? So it's a preparatory period. And the other 3 seasons are great. But what happens to all your excitement from spring and manifesting new things, and all the fun and running of summer of making everything happen, and then you don't take your preparatory period in the autumn, and then you have winter? Well, that doesn't make sense to me. Another reason why November is so important is it is the 11th month, number 11. Number 11 is very profound in angel terms, because the number 11 basically says you are in alignment with the universe right now, whether you realize it or not. And 11 specifically, like if you see, you look at the clock and it's 1:11 or it's 11:11, and a lot of my friends have been seeing that lately. That's your angels in the universe telling you you're in alignment, we're listening, you can create anything you want. But just 11 in particular basically means you are manifesting at an incredible rate right now. And anyone who knows anything about manifesting and how the law of attraction works knows that that goes 2 ways. So you focus on the things you want, you focus on excitement and getting lots of abundance and amazing things happening, and things are going to start moving in that direction. No, it might not come the exact way you want it to or that you were expecting it to, which is why we have to try not to expect too many specific things, because then we create those attachments and we can kind of mess ourselves up. But that's not the point right now. The point is that in November, you're hitting month 11, you have the abundance energy, the reaping of rewards energy, and you're manifesting at this incredibly high rate. So you have to keep your sights on what you want. You cannot focus on what you don't want, because as soon as you start focusing on what you don't want, the universe is going to go, okay, there you go. Universe is simple like that. Which is also why I like bringing angels into my manifestations, because the universe is basically a mirror of sorts that you say, I don't want another bad relationship. So you focus on bad relationships. And basically that's all the universe hears is bad relationships. And it goes, okay, I'm not sure why you'd want that, but okay. And you focus on, getting lots of abundance and new clients into your business, and you keep your focus on that, and you don't let negativity creep in, like, doubting your abilities or doubting that anyone actually wants to work with you. Trust me, I know. I have been guilty of that, and that's what the universe throws back at you. So, just on the note of, or on the topic of manifestation, if you can manage to not do that, that's great. And the easiest way I've found is to call your angels in and say, help me focus on what I need to focus on. And when I slide into those moments of focusing on what I'm not supposed to be focusing on, and I start focusing on the negative stuff that I don't want, please help me to not throw those vibes out to the universe to get boomeranged back at me, because that's not what we're striving for here. And not everybody's going to believe in angels. Not everybody's going to be comfortable talking to them. But my personal experience, I've had better luck with it, because they can whisper to you, talk to you, make sure that you're focusing on the right things, and you can get a much better grip on your energy through that. So one thing that I've noticed about people during autumn is that I've noticed people get really irritated as you roll into autumn, especially into late autumn, November. And, they had this crazy summer and they had all these ideas and all this stuff going on. And then the energy starts slowing down. It's just scaling back a little bit. Like I said, that's normal. That's part of the cycle. That's part of the season. But they get really irritated about it. Like, I don't want things to slow down. I didn't ask things to slow down. Why are things slowing down? And something that I think is really important to think about is your energy and the energy of the world around you starts slowing down because it's time to step back, prep, and focus. Work on what you have. Work with what you have, instead of bringing in a whole bunch of crazy new energy. And we really need to embrace that and use it to our advantage, because you can't spend, and I know I touched on this earlier already, but you can't spend all year just running and running and running and going and making new ideas, because you'll burn yourself out. And this is the perfect time of year to stop, slow down, and ascertain where you're at. So for example, this is a great time of year for me, and I've really been working on this the last couple of years, allowing it to happen, that in the spring, I go crazy, I clean everything out, what I can, physical life, business life, everything. And I basically detox my energy. That's my favorite time of year to do it. I generally do a minor energy detox either in the autumn or winter as well, but spring is the big time for cleaning out. Then summer, you're going and going, and you're meeting people and you're going places, and you get some of your best ideas. Well, I should say you get a lot of ideas during the summer, or at least I do. And then you hit autumn. And for me, I've discovered autumn is the best time for me to slow down, take a step back, and go, okay, I have all these ideas. This is all amazing. What do I really want to do? What am I really prepared to do? Because this last summer, and ideas come all year long, but I had a lot of ideas. I also had a lot of changes in my life. I moved, I discovered I was pregnant, and life just kind of went, and it's been kind of crazy. And now since making the move and kind of, you know, I don't want to say coming to terms with being a mom because that sounds wrong, but it is my first. It is exciting and terrifying all at the same time. And at this point in the year, I find myself really kind of settling in to who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing. And even in the last few days, even, but the last couple of weeks, me and my business coach have been talking about my business and really starting to hone it down. It's like, okay, we've got all these ideas. There's all these things that I could do. What do I really want to do? What do I want to teach? What do I want to help people with? And this is just a great time of year for kind of bringing things in, tying up loose ends, maybe looking at things and going, you know what, this is a preparatory time of year. I'm not prepared to take that on. So I'm going to write it down and I'm going to put it in the pantry, my idea pantry, and I'm going to bust it back out next spring and see what comes of it. But for right now, that's just not where I need to be focused. Because I'm sure most of you know, we have a tendency to try to think about and do way too many things at once. And when you're trying to do way too many things at once, you know, everything suffers. So that's what I found with this time of year, that this is a great time for paring things down, preparing for what you do want to work on. And then throughout the rest of the winter, you have this laser focus on, I'm going to work on these things, you know, these 3 projects. That's all I'm working on. And everything else is just going to have to wait till spring when I clean out and make room for new stuff in my business and my life. So people, like I said, people get really frustrated, like they feel like their energy is slowing down. It's like, no, 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 no. Don't be frustrated. Enjoy it. Accept it. It's part of the cycle. It's supposed to happen. It's good, I promise. So a final, kind of final thought. Another thing about autumn is that it's a transition season. I consider spring and fall in particular to be transition seasons, but there's something about fall that really encompasses things ending, coming to an end in order to be reborn. And it goes right along with paring things down, deciding what you really want to do, and focusing. But it's really a transition stage of the year. And normally I do a card reading, and generally I'm going to probably pull the cards on air. But what was interesting is while I was looking through the deck looking for the autumn card, I found 2 cards that were backwards in the deck. And I am generally fastidious about making sure my cards all face the same direction. So I have no idea why these cards are turned backwards, and that told me that there's something significant going on here. And the first card I found was the fire card. Fire is all about transmutation and purification. So it's really interesting that this card would come up right now, being a transition month when you're preparing for transition into winter. And so that just really told me something, that it's like, okay, something's going on, I think, this year, even beyond your normal autumnal energy. We need to be preparing for a transition. And that could be personal transition, that could be business transition. There's a lot going on in the world right now. So I think that there's some bigger, there's some transitions out there going on that are bigger than we are, but we need to be prepared to do our part and to kind of take things in stride, because obviously the world is a very unpredictable place. And the last thing that we need is for something out there to change, and basically we're kind of blindsided by it, and then we're like, okay, now we don't know what to do because we weren't expecting that. So I'm gonna look up the fire card just to make sure I don't miss anything. It's very much burn off the old, light your inner fire, And another thing about the fire card that I love is it's telling you, you already know what needs to be done. You know what you need to do. You're just not doing it. And potentially you're in denial about it, which obviously doesn't help anything. So, and it's just such an interesting card to come up right now, because it's, when you have transformations, you need to be focused on keeping the good and letting the old go and letting the negative go. So we have autumn, and then we have the fire card come up. So there's a lot of transition right now, a lot of purification, which is pretty interesting, because normally that's the sort of thing I would kind of expect out of spring. So, but this is, I would say this is very close. This is very home-centered, heart-centered. You need to be taking care of you. And this feels more personal to me, like not so much, not so much external, but you need to be focused on you, yourself, your home, your loved ones, and making sure that you're ready for transitions that are coming, and that you're going along with the energy of this time of year. And the other card is red. And the color red, this card is about passion and survival. And the color red is based on your, or associated with your root chakra. And your root chakra is very much about your needs. It's a very physical color. It's not like obviously your third eye, your crown. These are very kind of esoteric chakras, and they have to do with things outside of you. And your root chakra is very much you at your very deepest levels, particularly on the physical plane. So this card is very much also kind of about getting that fire lit, making sure that you're moving forward and doing what you need to be doing. But it's also about making sure that you're balanced. Because if your root chakra is off, then you're going to feel scattered, you're going to be all over the place, and fear is going to take a major toll on your life. You are going to react, you're going to think fear-based thoughts, you're going to react to fear-based thoughts and actions. And so that card being backwards and popping out right now is telling me that, it really goes along with the autumn card, because the autumn card and November, like I said, it's all about keeping your thoughts and your vibrations high to make sure you're not bringing in things you don't want. But if your root chakra is off, you're very easily going to think about the things that you don't want, and those are going to manifest to you. So definitely focus on your root chakra and do what you can to make sure that it is on the up and up. It's balanced, you're balanced, and that's both a physical and mental thing. But you need to trust your instinct. You need to let your fears go. And let's see. Blah, 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 blah. It really is about abundance. I mean, the universe is trying to bring you abundance, and you need to make sure your energy is ready for that. There's a few things that you can do to help your root chakra. And one of the easiest ones, and it's really easy this time of year because autumn, is wear red. Just wear a red shirt or a red scarf, or paint your nails red, and just have that red right there, because that color therapy will help you to strengthen the chakra that it's associated with. So something else that I've noticed is people who have very, very strong third eye or crown chakras have a tendency to be pulled toward like the color purple, which I am. And we have a tendency to be kind of have our head in the clouds, and we're terrible at being grounded. And generally our root chakra suffers because of that. So I noticed recently that I'm starting to decorate my entire downstairs and my living room in reds and oranges, and orange is connected to one chakra up, which is the sacral chakra, which also has to do a lot with physical balancing, but less to do with just grounding yourself and your energy, and being steadfast in your home and knowing where you belong and knowing that you do belong, which is very much what red and the root chakra is about. It's about balance and comfort and home and hearth, and making sure that you're prepared to receive abundance, which ties into the fire card, because you're supposed to be letting things go that don't serve you and burning off anything negative and getting ready for a transmutation process, which rolls into autumn, which is all about transitions and abundance. And so these three cards were obviously brought out for a very good reason. Like I said, I didn't pull out I purposely pulled out the autumn card, and the other two just kind of popped up. So I hope all that makes sense. And in the next week, I would really just encourage you to focus on your root chakra. If you need to find someone who can help you balance your root chakras, do so. Surround yourself with red and autumnal colors, and that will really help you to strengthen your root chakra without having to focus on it too much. And just make sure that your thoughts are staying up here and you are focusing on what you want. I want this, and I know it's coming, because if you do that, then it will come and it will be on its way to you. And just enjoy the energy right now. Enjoy the slowing down of energy. And I guess it's not even the slowing down of energy, because you're manifesting faster than any other time of year in this month, more than likely. And you've probably noticed it on some level. But just the reining in of energy and the tying up of loose ends and the focusing in on, this is what I want for the rest of this year, rolling into next year. And don't worry about next year, worry about this year. Because I realize we've only got a month to go, but a lot can happen in a month, especially if you start thinking about what you want now. So I think I'm going to leave it on that note for today, and I hope that was helpful. And next week, hopefully we can try again to get Carla on here. I do have a couple of new offers. I will post the links below this video as soon as I'm done. I have a special that I'm doing right now. It is free, that you can sign up and ask me any question that you want. And this can be about your gifts. It can be about experiences you're having. It can be about your life in general. It really doesn't matter to me what you want to talk about. And that's over at my blog. You can go to lindseyrainwater.com. And if you go to the blog, you will see a ad up in the upper right-hand corner that says get your free intuitive answer. But like I said, I will post the link, and it's no strings attached. You just sign up so that I know you're you, and you can ask any question you want and I will answer it. So definitely take advantage of that while I still have it up. So on that note, I will bid you farewell for today, and we're going to do this again next week, Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain. And I will see you then. Thank you so much for joining me.